everyone, this is Mao from Sparkly Belly. In part 2 of the How to Make a Belly Dance Bra series, you saw how I prepared all parts of a belly dance bra base. In this video, you will see how to cover the bra base with the fabric of your choice so you can start decorating it. In this section, you will see me hand stitch the fabric to the bra base. You can use whatever stitching technique you're comfortable with as long as the fabric stays on the base well and all bra parts stay together. But in case you want to know how I do it, this is how. So first you thread your needle. Make a nice tight knot at the end. Start by putting through the needle from underneath the fabric so the knot doesn't show. Then bring your needle down to the left of where you started. Put the needle through and bring it out to the left again. And repeat. When you're done, make sure to make another tight knot to secure the stitching. There are many ways to cover a bra, so I will show you one that I think is the easiest and still achieves a clean look. So from part 2, you should have 2 bra cups, 2 side straps, 1 center strap, and 1 or 2 shoulder straps, depending on what shoulder strap style you picked. And also in part 2, you've already covered the shoulder straps with your fabric. Let's start from easy ones. Spread your fabric right side or pretty side down. Take the center part, lay it interface side down on your fabric. Pin it to the fabric. Then measure 1.5 centimeters seam allowance all around the piece and mark it with a marking pen. You can just eyeball it if you feel comfortable. Then cut along the lines. Then take one pin at a time and fold over the seam allowance and place the pin again. Do it on all sides. Where there are curves, cut small slits like this so there is not too much tension in the fabric. Next, stitch along the edge. I like it when the stitch does not show on the pretty side of the fabric. If you're like me, then try to stitch the fabric onto the base by not letting the needle penetrate through the front side of the centerpiece. At corners, feel free to cut off the excess fabric so the layers of folded fabric does not become too thick. Once the piece is covered, repeat the same steps for side straps. Again, lay a side strap interface side down on your fabric. Pin the strap to the fabric, mark 1.5 centimeter seam allowance. At the thinner end of the side strap, I like to give more, about 3 centimeters. Once the seam allowance is marked, go ahead and cut. Add slits along the curved sides, then fold the seam allowance over and place pins. I've done the same thing to the other one. Make sure when you place the side straps side by side with fabric side down like this, they look like a mirror image. Not identical, because if your side straps are identical, it means you've created 2 side straps for the same side of your bra. Once you make sure you've made a side strap for each side, stitch along the edge. At the thinner end, I fold the fabric twice and stitch all around it. Because this is where a hook and eye closure is attached, I feel more secure if there is more fabric to sew them onto. Alright, now we're going to cover the bra cups. When I started making my own costumes, I found this part the most difficult. But don't worry, I will show you the easiest way of doing this based on my experience. First, having too much fabric when you are covering a bra cup is very difficult. So place a bra cup on a flat surface. Then place your fabric right side up on top of the cup. Just eyeball about how much fabric you're going to need. Cut around the cup and make sure you have just more than you need. Now you have a nice smaller piece of fabric to work with. Place it on your bra cup. Make sure all sides of the cup is covered. Then start from the top corner where the shoulder strap was attached before. Pin the fabric to the cup there. Then work your way down along the curve of the cup and place pins every few centimeters. Then work your way from the corner down the other way. The key here is to not pull the fabric too much. Just pull it enough to give it a clean look. If you pull the fabric too much, it can shrink the size of your cup. By now, your bra cup should look like this. Looks like there's too much fabric at the bottom, but don't worry, we will take care of it. So work your way around a bit further and place 1 or 2 more pins on each side. Now, we will make a dart to take care of the excess fabric. To make a dart, take the excess fabric, hold it up like this, and tuck one side inside of the other side. So in this case, I'm taking the left side of this gathered up fabric and folding it over. Now, I like when the folded line goes straight down, so slide the fabric over until the line comes down. The line should start at the highest point of the cup. Once the line comes straight down, smooth out the fabric and pin the fabric. Take your time here because if you do a good pinning job here, the finished product will look very nice and professional. Once the fabric is pinned to the bra cup, flip it over and trim the excess fabric to make it easier to stitch. Make sure to leave about 2 centimeters for seam allowance. Then start stitching from where you started pinning. So from this top corner, stitch along the edge. Now you may be wondering whether you can use fabric glue for this. My answer is you can if you have strong, reliable fabric glue. But when it gets hardened, it gets very challenging to sew through it. So if you're thinking to do beading work or sew on appliques or sequins later, it's best to avoid fabric glue. And add slits where there is a curve and if the fabric seems too tight. When you're close to the dart, stop there. We will sew the dart first. If the fabric gathers up from stitching, now is the time to smooth out everything and adjust the dart if you need to. Take your threaded needle, put it through from the inside of the bra cup where the line starts outside of the cup. Then we will do very small stitches. Take a little bit of fabric from the folded side, then put the needle through the other side. Then take a little bit of fabric from here and take a little bit of fabric from the folded side again. Repeat the stitches, and as you can see, the stitches are not very visible, but they are keeping the dart together. Keep stitching until you get to the bottom and make a knot. Now go back to stitching along the edge, finish up, and trim the excess fabric. And of course, repeat the process for the other cup. Now that you have all parts of your bra base covered in your beautiful fabric, it's time to assemble them together. Start with sewing the cups together with the centerpiece you have created. Pin them all together. I usually use this strong craft and button thread to sew them together. Make a knot and sew along the edge of the triangle. These underwires are very hard, so try to grab the fabric around them. And after that, flip it over and go back in with matching color thread and stitch along the edge of the cups for added security. Then pin the side straps to the bra base. Make sure when you hold the side straps from both sides, everything lays nice and straight. Lastly, pin the shoulder straps. For now, just attach the straps to the cups and we will finish up the other ends later. If you're making halter neck, just attach one end to one of the cups. Take the same craft and button thread and sew along the edge. I like to first sew along the edge of the side strap, then make a circle and sew along the edge of the cup. If you plan to line the inside of the bra, attach the closure after you line the bra. Otherwise, sew on the pants hook 5 mm from the edge of the right side strap. And sew on the bottom part of the snap button 5 mm from the edge of the left side strap. Now put on your bra and see how tight you want the side straps to be when they're hooked together. The right strap comes on top of the left strap. You may want to have a friend to help you mark where the edge of the right strap should end up on the left strap. And once you make sure the side straps are nice and tight, put shoulder straps around to where you want them to be. Again, get a friend to help you mark where they should end up. If you're making a halter neck style, just put the strap around your neck and pin it to the top of the left cup. Then carefully take off the bra and place the eye of the hook the way it should go based on the marking and sew it on. Same with the snap button. Hold the top side of the button against the inside of the right side strap. Line it up with the bottom part. Then sew it on. Make sure the stitching doesn't show much on the fabric unless you will cover it with decoration later. Then sew on the shoulder straps and your bra is ready to be decorated. That was a fairly long process, but it's just a series of simple steps. Give it a try, and if you have any questions, email me or ask on Sparkly Belly's Facebook page and I will do my best to answer your questions. In the next video, I will show you different materials you can use for decorating your bra and my tips on creating your own design. Thanks for watching and keep sparkling.